Let's study for our quiz. Go ahead and pause the tape and quote the Gettysburg Address. Okay, 77 years ago, our forefathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who have gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note, not long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. Okay, as long as you know up to the word advanced, we're doing good. The ability to be able to adapt to blank helps make for successful life. Change. What are some things slaves did in the South to help the North win the war? They rebelled against authority, and they ran away from their owners. Democrat blank were opposed to the Civil War. Copperheads. The first African American Congressional Medal of Honor winner was William Carney. The Art of War was a book on military strategy written by Sun Tzu. What helped the North stay economically strong during the Civil War? Okay, plenty of labor was available from immigrants. The industry grew, particularly in coal and steel. There was trade going on with European nations. She and her sister spied for the Confederacy. Jenny Moon. She fought in a guerrilla group for some time. Nancy Hart. She founded the Red Cross in America. Clara Barton. She was awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. Dr. Mary Walker. African Americans first fought during which war? The Revolutionary War. To inflame the passion in people against something. Incite. Certificates given by a government to its people when it borrows money from them. Bonds. To require military service of individuals. The draft. Conscription. A person who supports a cause. Sympathizer. A person who frees other people from bondage or slavery. Emancipator. A saying or rule about any particular topic. A maxim. This woman was instrumental in giving important information to the Confederacy just before the Second Battle of Bull Run. Antonia Ford. The most famous black military unit during the Civil War was from the state of Massachusetts. What effects of the war did both sides share? Women were forced to work outside the home, a shortage of manpower as losses increased, the failure of military leaders to adapt to change. Old-fashioned or outdated? Archaic. The right to vote. Suffrage. The basic level of a complex system or organization. Infrastructure. The end or death of something or someone. Demise. Exceptional courage under pressure. Valor. An earthen wall built to protect a fort or military position. Rampart. True or false? Harriet Tubman was a runaway slave from the state of Maryland. True. What caused the huge riot in New York City during the war? The Enrollment Act of Conscription. What economic issues did the South face as the war dragged on? Okay, the blockade prevented foreign trade. Much of the war was fought on southern soil. Farms and factories were destroyed. Trains and rails were destroyed, which caused transportation problems. There was a prolonged food and clothing shortage, and the death of many livestock. Okay, I want you to go back and I want you to study that. Make sure you know it before you take this quiz.